This episode of the Esoteric Order of Roleplayers is brought to you by the generosity of our backers on Patreon. Go to patreon.com/esotericrp to find out how you can become a backer too. Remember to follow us on Facebook, Twitter, and Instagram to keep up with all the latest news, and join our Discord community to chat with players and fellow listeners. The Esoteric Order broadcasts from Santa Fe, New Mexico. We recognize these episodes are produced on the traditional territory of the Tewa-speaking Pueblo peoples, and we acknowledge their community, their ancestors, their elders both past and present, and future generations. The Esoteric Order of Roleplayers present The Great Game, a Castle Falkenstein campaign, with David Larkins as the host. My first question is, would anybody flip out if I withdrew all of your cards and reshuffled the deck?
Please do, because I've had the same cards for like 3 sessions.
It's a new adventure. We get new cards, and maybe you'll actually shuffle them this time.
Excuse me.
Don't forget to shuffle the spells one, please.
Oh,
so
please.
Not all the major arcana are on top.
Yeah, I've just shuffled both. I'm sorry, it does not have the satisfying crickle crackle of a real shuffle.
Yeah.
But maybe someone can do an app for that. Yeah.
Laying around here somewhere.
No, be careful.
So you can go analog.
Edie will get upset, so just leave it alone.
All right.
Oh yeah, I was listening to session 4 of Monster Hearts over there today, and and there was a part where somebody said something and everyone went "oh," and Edie went "oh." Everyone was freaking out. It was bedlam. It was awesome.
Yeah. Poor Edie. She hasn't seen the game room in months.
No. Is that a recent Monster Hearts, or is that an older one?
No, Santiago's listening to our old Monster Hearts game.
Yeah.
Oh, that's
tough. You were
I know.
Rodrigo.
Yeah, Rodrigo.
That character's dope. And Jen.
Are you in
Colleen.
season 1, or is it?
Yeah, I'm in this Sesh 4. I started Sesh 4 today.
I was gonna say that. What is it? Was it post Spring Fling gets super gnarly?
That's what I keep hearing, and I'm looking forward to it.
All right, fixing my. I have 2 major arcana, so I'm just sorting.
Keep getting arcana. As the GM, I am not allowed to have arcana.
Yeah, I think that's how you save it all for spells, is the thing. Yeah. It's like, I'm not allowed to have it in my regular hand, so please try casting a spell so I can murder your face.
Exactly.
Or make everything awesome, because that turned out pretty rad last time.
Well, I don't know if you guys... I got a midweek taster in super last minute. But
yeah, I did a speed read on it.
Oh god, it's essentially Grizzly Grant inventing MC Escher's the relativity drawing, but through the really enacting the final scene in Labyrinth. It's really what was happening. But it's called Grizzly Grant Hits the Books. So I'm trying to get better at. I'm hoping that I'll be good at magic one day.
Yeah, the only thing that I could even pseudo try to justify in this twixt adventure taster was I was like, well, I look like Bernadette now, so maybe maybe I can get some comeliness if I get some books on how to do my stupid hair.
Oh, is that what you're aiming for?
It's the only thing I could think of that I could justify in this amount of time, where it's like,
yeah,
because like I figure there isn't too much time between like this and the wedding, right? Because we're on a time crunch.
Right.
So the only thing that's really changed with Astrid is she's having to deal with being in a new body that's cuter than hers.
By some values. Yeah, I'm working on it here.
Oh, okay, cool. I didn't know if you could see who lays down what.
I'm discovering that I can selectively say who to deal to. Okay, so Iskander's okay. Grizzly, Grant, Astrid, and Frederick all need one. Okay. Deal one cards.
Gonna ask too, since I had been utilizing so much performance in my recent role playing, if maybe that one could go up.
Yeah.
From average to good.
Absolutely.
Score.
Oh yeah, does my sorcery go up?
Yes, it does.
Phenomenal.
How about Frederick? Has he been working on anything?
I guess it depends how much time's passed.
Couple weeks.
Okay, probably not. I think he's been. I don't think it's enough time for anything for him.
Yeah. Okay.
Yeah, I don't. Everything I've been working on is already at good or great, and I don't necessarily think that 2 weeks would be enough to take it from like good to great necessarily. Right. So cool. Glad we're in agreement there.
No, absolutely not.
Because it wasn't like a roundabout way of asking. It was I legit.
No, I know. So. I know. Yeah, no, I know.
What?
Can I have healed my damage that I took way back when?
Yes, any damage you have is healed. So no worries there.
I do think I would be like maybe, I don't know, halfway through with my new journeyman piece.
Absolutely. Yeah, for sure.
Halfway.
Thank you for crunching the numbers on that, by the way.
Yeah, he told me about his math. I thought it was
yeah.
I was like, yeah.
I got like an algebraic function in my email.
Also wanted to be like, look, I did all the work, and I'm like, here's where I show my work. There's a TLDR at the end if you just want like, just tell me what you came up with. But I wanted you to see that it was legit. So
right.
But to be fair, like I don't think anyone could really expect to get any sort of explanation from you without it being like expansive in its scope and coverage.
Well, you know.
I expect nothing less. That's right. All right. Okay. So, yes, as I say, we're going to be picking up just a couple weeks after we left off last time. So the great margarine mystery has been solved. The great margarine caper. And so, having done that, you have all sort of returned in some way to your normal lives. Save for Grizzly Grant, who has a kind of a deadline coming up, doesn't he?
Oh, yeah.
Yes, indeed. So, what are you doing to prepare for this task ahead of you?
Well, definitely hitting the books because I don't know much about the Steam Lords of Britain. All of my like inquiries or my attempts to gain information have so far been subverted or lackluster, I suppose. Not really, I guess, forthcoming with information. So apart from that, I'm basically just like, I don't know what these guys are capable of. And I know that My magic hasn't been the most reliable thing on the planet, so I'm trying to study. And so if I need to get creative and I need to do something mystical, I will be a little more confident in that.
Hopefully, no more margarine.
Hopefully, nothing turns to margarine.
Someone on the EOR Discord today was like, man, the magic system must be way much less fun without the tarot deck. I was kind of thinking that, because like most of the crazy stuff that's happened has been from all of it actually has been from the major arcana draws. So
yeah, those are a lot of fun.
If you didn't have that in there.
I saw that comment and I was like, I refuse to play any other way.
Pretty much.
Right. Yeah.
I'm spoiled now.
Right.
Yeah. All right, so you're trying to find out what you can about the Steam Lords, and particularly about the Azimuth family.
Mm-hmm.
Mm-hmm. Very good. Very good. So, there's your peerages, your who's that you can consult at the local library, the Bibliothèque Nationale, if you will. And here's what you find out about the Steam Lords of Britain. Exposition dump. So, the Steam Lords of Britain are a cabal of very, very powerful industrialists who control the majority of industries in the empire. They're very similar to the robber barons of America, wealthy and ruthless men who are the captains of industry and the masters of steam age progress. But where robber barons like Carnegie and Vanderbilt are content to crush their competitors under the jackboots of their trusts, the Steam Lords are far more ambitious. They fully intend to run Victoria's government to their liking. One reason is that the majority of them are also members of the all-powerful British aristocracy and are used to ruling over vast fiefs of downtrodden tenant farmers and hereditary estates. It isn't a big jump from low-tech feudalism to the industrial brand of the same thing. So they have they're on good terms with Bismarck and the Prussians. And let's see. One of their known foes is Bertie, the Prince of Wales. That would be Albert. And so they're constantly dragging his name through the mud in their various newspapers, like the scandalous Reynolds News, who are constantly blasting out trumped-up scandals of poor Bertie's affairs to Victoria's credulous ears. It is said that the Queen has been sufficiently influenced by these reports that she views her son as an irresponsible skirt chaser, unfit to rule.
Skirt chaser. I like it.
Yeah. So...
And as for the Azimuth family, they run the Midland Manufacturing Trust, which controls woolen and linen mills all over southern England. They themselves, however, are based out of Lancashire.
Okay, so the Steam Lords, these guys are trouble.
Yep. Trouble with a capital T, and I mean trouble.
What a fine film of fish.
And they're friendly with the Prussians, which means they're probably not friendly with us.
Correct.
Well, alrighty. So I would imagine in the weeks since I've obtained an arms manufacturing plant and we've uncovered the mystery of the margarine fairy assassination. We've probably, got together a few times for dinner, or chilled, just essential chilling with the homies.
You don't go through something like that and not end up friends.
Right. So I've probably been like, letting everybody know, like, hey, this is what I know about the Steam Lords. This is what I know about the Azimuth family. and of which Sir Percival, I believe, is among them. Perhaps trying to marry my lady, Miss Holmes. And I'm kind of like, obviously I'm going to all you guys being like, look, if you want to help me, I would love to help you. I would love to have it. I'd love to have your help because I don't know what to do. I don't know what I don't know what to expect, and I'm gonna need all the help I can get.
I mean, of course we're going to help you. What do you expect?
I must say, Grant, that I take umbrage at the implication that there is some notion that we wouldn't help you.
Well, I don't want to sign you up for something that, frankly, you don't find needing done,
Did we just have a I didn't want to speak for you, pal, Han Solo Chewbacca moment?
Totally.
I think we did.
I didn't want to speak for you, pal.
Nah. That's awesome.
So yeah, and then I would probably look to our fairy friend, Lady Jade, or Breksta, sorry. And I was like, I know she didn't change her name on Zoom, and then I went and looked at Roll20, it was the same. But yeah, I would probably look to Breksta and be like, I understand. We've me and the fairy folk, we got a rocky relationship.
Well, I must admit, I do love a good wedding, but Grant, you, I think, clumsy and oafish as you are, have honorable intentions, and I appreciate that.
Oh, well, thank you kindly. And then Haas, I could always use a man of your stature on my side. I know we're sure, with the Steam Lords involved, we're sure to be getting getting into some diplomatically muddy waters, as it were.
So, Frederick, so I nod. You might notice that Frederick looks a little perturbed, though. And it's because he's currently calculating a possible avenue to exploit, and it's one he doesn't like. I kind of planted this seed weeks ago in the biography of Karl Gross. But so my rival Karl Gross basically made a splash onto the diplomatic scene by negotiating a truce between none other than Lord Percival Asmith and a business rival in Paris.
Mm-mm.
So it is possible that I could go seek out my most hated rival, Karl Gross, and see if there's a way that I could get his help to perhaps get us some kind of access that we wouldn't have otherwise.
Love that.
That is just so nice of you, Freddie.
Mm-hmm. Yep.
Oh no, I really don't want to talk to this guy.
I know.
Expert level long game, though.
It really is.
Yeah. I snuck this into the Obsidian portal, and now
hey, it's there. It's right there, Dave. I mean, I can't do anything about that.
Oh, I saw it. I saw it.
Plus, it's cool that, it's cool to have to go work with your rival. Like, that's dope. But also, Grant would admire that because he knows what it's like to have some pride, and when that pride has to not only come down a little bit, but by your own hand, sometimes that's hard.
Oh yeah, Frederick's feeling it.
Well, thank you all kindly for wanting to help me out. I believe, do we know where they're getting married?
Yes, the announcement that the Divine Miss Bernhardt showed you said that they were getting married at St. Paul's Cathedral in London on the 20th of June.
Sure to be a swanky affair.
No doubt.
Well, and what is today's date?
Well, it's it can be however close to that you want it to be in terms of like when you're luncheoning with your compatriots here. If you want to give them like 2 weeks lead time, if you want to give them like 2 days lead time, it's really up to you.
I would say maybe like a week ahead of time.
Mm-hmm.
That way it's not like if we need to get some information, we can. If we need to secure some +1s, we can. If we need to if anybody needs to get their suits tailored because you've gotten too swole, we can do that.
All right. Frederick, that means you.
Yeah,
that's right.
Yeah, I know. I've been hitting the gym.
If you need to
Astrid.
get a custom suit for Katsubu so that he looks
That's right.
appropriate for a wedding.
I know. I was going to ask you about that, Dave. Could Katsubu be my +1?
Yes, he can. I thought you might.
I thought you might.
Oh, yes.
Entirety wardrobe for Astrid.
That's right.
She's got
that's
entire
true.
new body.
I'm just like sewing on a new panel to like the bottom of all of my skirts.
Yeah.
If they're long enough. So I'm not showing so much ankle. That's
Oh yeah.
If you got a ruffle, no one can tell.
I'm definitely like, Astrid, is there anything I can do for you? Is there any I don't know how long this transformation is supposed to last, or if you've gotten tired of it, or if you want to wear it around a little more. I might be able to do something about it. I've been practicing.
In many ways, it is not ideal, but it's working to my advantage for now because I think someone might be looking for Potterfield. And hey, if these bad guys like Prussians, I look like one. Blah, blah.
Well, I appreciate you not being sore at me for mucking up that spell so dang bad, and I also appreciate you wanting to wear it around a little more to secure us a slight advantage if need be.
I'm doing what I can with it. It's very strange.
Okay, so that sounds like Carl Gross is going to be the first indicated stop off on our magical mystery tour. So, how do you want to go about this, Freddie?
I'll go through the official channels. I'll put a request for an audience or a meeting or whatever through various underlings, and but I will try to express the urgency of it. And I'll keep it very pleasant. All of our public interactions are very polite and courteous. It's all the subtext.
Absolutely. Yeah, it's all the subtext is strong. So let's see here. Why don't we do this as a feat?
Okay.
And see how well you're able to kind of navigate this system, right? So what were you using for your sort of bureaucracy and diplomacy ability? Or did we have we let's see, Exchequer might be good.
I have a connections.
There we go. Connections.
Okay, so that's great.
All right. Oh, excellent. You have it at great. Now he's your rival. So I'm going to say a great success would be the baseline. Okay, so you will be able to arrange a meeting with him regardless.
Okay.
Assuming I don't play a card. But it will be a partial success. So the higher you can buy this up using swords or any other combination of cards, the faster, the more the faster turnaround you'll get on this meeting.
Okay. Well, I don't have any swords, so I'm just going to dump my hand.
Good. Uh-huh.
Just to see how... Is that going to help me in any way?
Yes. Assuming you dump all 4 cards.
Is there any way I can help him? Can I play a major arcana or anything?
I don't think so. No.
Okay.
If that's the case, then I prefer to just dump my major arcana and get a whole new hand. If that's possible.
There you go. That's
okay.
Fine.
It just hurts to dump Justice because that's such a fun card.
Oh yeah, totally.
And I don't use it right now at the start of the adventure.
Hey, maybe you'll get it again. All right. So shuffle, deal 4 cards to a Frederick, and there you go.
Oh boy, that's a lot of major arcanas.
Oh no. Okay.
I got 3 of them.
Oh God, Jesus!
So, all right. let me take a look. These might be useful. All right. 1 second.
While he is examining that, so are there any preliminary ideas from Grizzly about how you're going to go about, stopping this wedding?
Man, I have no idea. I imagine.
Would you like to know about Victorian wedding traditions that I totally know off the top of my head and didn't research today?
Yes, I would, David. Go ahead and expunge me your lessons.
So, weddings at this time tend to take place in the mornings, usually around 10 o'clock. The fact that this one is on a Tuesday is probably owing to the fact that every day has a different sort of meaning attached to it. So like if you want a prosperous marriage, where you're both very financially successful and comfortable, you would get married on a Friday, for example. Obviously, Lord Asmouth does not feel that he needs that extra encouragement, and so a Tuesday, feels like he could use that extra encouragement because a Tuesday. I don't know why I said Friday. A Tuesday is actually the day for ensuring wealth. So obviously he's just trying to make even more money than he already has. Let's see here. What else? A wedding of this size in a cathedral, you can expect about 200 guests. And the white wedding dress has quickly become sort of the go-to, but it is not the absolute be all and end all. It's just because Queen Victoria wore one to her wedding, so that kind of set the fashion. But you will occasionally still see other colors worn. If I can get to the link here, I can tell you what those may be. But yes, those are some notes on Victorian weddings. I mean, the modern wedding is still much patterned after the Victorian wedding, so the whole something old, something new, something borrowed, something blue is from this period, all that kind of stuff. So but yeah, it's most of the things we associate now with weddings are in place at this point.
I would imagine Miss Holmes, Adelaide, she, I don't know. Obviously she doesn't want to be a part of this wedding. So I don't know that she would agree to wearing a white dress. She might be reluctant about it, or even some kind of fairy tale, like bring me a dress of this color, and it takes some like just to stall for time, and she does it 3 times or whatever.
I demand a dress woven of spider silk.
Yeah.
Yeah. But yeah, any particular idea? Like, do you want to try and break it up before the wedding itself? Do you want to try and break it up on the day of?
I'm going to try to stop it just as she's about to say I do.
Okay. All right. Cool.
Yeah.
All right. So here's the color breakdown. You can take notes if you want. Color of the gown thought to influence one's future life. White, chosen right. Blue, love will be true. Yellow, ashamed of her fellow. Red, wish herself dead. Black, wish herself back. Gray, travel far away. Pink, of you he'll always think. Green, ashamed to be seen.
No more rhyming now. I mean it.
Anybody want a peanut?
I'm going to say she probably is wearing a gray dress, maybe even red.
Mm.
I don't know. I can imagine her in like a really tasteful, like dove gray, something soft.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, now we're talking.
Mm-hmm.
Was it a thing during like the ceremony at this time where they would do the like, if anyone objects to blah blah blah, or did that come later?
Yes. So if they're being married in the Anglican service, which is almost certainly going to be the case, then yes, that is a part of the ceremony.
Phenomenal. Good thinking, Iskander.
I feel like, yeah, that kind of bakes in your opportunity right there, right?
I want to live the dream of being like, I object, and like, I'm
not gonna. There's part of me that was like, can it be a garden wedding so we can just come over with the airship, drop a rope, and like hoist her away?
You can always blow. You can always blow a hole in the ceiling of St. Paul's, I guess.
We become the villains.
Yeah.
If there is some destruction of church property involved, I'm in.
Oh, now we're talking.
That's true, actually. As a fairy, you're not too into those crosses.
That would be hilarious.
Interesting.
Yeah, get those like claws that they used on the train. Just be like,
yeah. Call in a favor from Lord Dyer. What do you want? I want you to help me break up a wedding. Keep talking.
Go on. Okay, yes. So we know the. Oh yeah.
Down to the core of my being, I pure straight hate you.
Yeah.
Damn it, do I respect you?
Pretty much.
Sorry. Continue.
So we know the when. We know pretty much the who, the when, the where, and the why. I guess we just need to figure out, like, I mean, again, I don't really have an idea of what might be happening. Let me ask you this, David: is there somebody in the Golden Dawn here in Europe that the mysticism cult? I want to be clear.
Yes, not the Nazi political party.
Not the Nazi political party, which I just learned about.
Yes. Very unfortunate. Yes.
Yeah, I know. I was like, there's a second Golden Dawn. Anyways, is there somebody in the real Golden Dawn there you
go.
That might be able to, I don't want to say predict the future, but maybe give us some kind of ominous omens that we might expect. I might go to him and be like, look, Frank, I need you to help me out and kind of look into my future and give me a broad idea of what I might be able to expect. Because, I mean,
Well, let's see here. So the Golden Dawn is known for their powers of summoning, calling forth beings or banishing beings, and also communing with the dead.
Interesting.
Yes. Now, the American Freemasons are on good terms with the Golden Dawn. Mm-hmm. They're actually on better terms with the Golden Dawn than they are with the European Freemasons.
I know. So, it's a logistical nightmare.
It is a logistical nightmare. So yeah, I'll say, what's your connections ability?
I believe my connections are good. Let me double check.
All right.
Yeah, I have good connections.
Okie dokie, good connections. Excellent. All right. That's fine. So you do get in touch with a member of the Golden Dawn.
Yeah.
Yep. Weirdly enough, she already has a wiki entry. It's as if I anticipated this very move. I know, I'm just that good. So this is Mrs. Memory Lord.
Ooh.
Who is also a member of... What was it again? She's a member of the London Society of Phantasmal Research.
Okay. I've got her. Ooh, she's a Stone Cold Fox.
Yeah. Sorry, Miss Holmes. Right. I'm sure you'll be very happy with Sir Percival.
Yeah, at least I got a backup plan.
In case it doesn't work out, yeah.
In case the airship crashes, we've.
There you go. Now, she actually, though, has a connection herself with a member of the Theosophic Masters of the White Lodge. And so these kooky kids believe that they are agents on Earth of a race of powerful ethereal beings called the Mahatmas, who theoretically live on the lost continents of Lemuria and Mu, and now guide the members of the White Lodge to higher consciousness through their teachings.
These guys sound like they like to party.
Oh, yeah. Ain't no party like a White Lodge party, because a White Lodge party will take you to a different dimension. But they are known for their divinatory abilities. So she can arrange a meeting in London between you and her contact.
Yeah, would love that.
All right.
So maybe then I'll retcon earlier when I said, I give everybody maybe 2 weeks time, and that way
Sure.
I can go through the proper channels here and be like, all right, everybody, I know Frederick probably has some blood he needs to get dry cleaned out of his suit, and Iskander's gotten too swole, so blah blah blah. And I need to apparently get in contact with these guys who think that they're all that.
All that in a bucket of Mahatmas.
Finish my German journeyman piece.
Ooh.
German.
Ooh, there you go.
Nice.
What is your new journeyman piece, Iskander?
Oh, yes.
Yeah.
Let me show you its features.
Please.
My power glove. Let me show you it.
Yeah.
It's so
basically, yeah. So agonizing over trying to figure out something that could be good, something for good and serve mankind and stuff like that. He came up with this idea that if he could make a I hesitate to say a gauntlet because it's like a whole arm piece of armor, basically, and integrated into it is a shock feature. It's like a armored arm shock gauntlet type of thing, so that you can deflect edged weapons, possibly even projectiles. I don't know. Field testing may be required.
You said launching projectiles. I immediately thought t-shirt gun.
Oh, right.
It's got a confetti cannon in it.
You were going, and I was like, oh yes, of course, you invented the t-shirt gun. That can serve the masses.
I meant, it might be able to deflect projectiles. Yeah, it's but having
that sounds different.
Repulsor ray Iron Man type of thing, but it shoots like bow ties or something like that, wraps around the neck. Everyone is dapper.
That's very
why are we fighting?
Brand. Yeah.
Yeah. Let's not fight, my friends. We can all be fashionable. Launches warm potatoes. Yeah.
Right. Yeah. The potato launcher.
No, so it can act as a shield. It can act as a parrying device. You can catch edged weapons and perhaps even break them without any harm. And rather than pummeling an enemy, to death or serious damage, you can grasp onto them and deliver an incapacitating shock.
There's no way this could be used for evil.
Well, we covered that.
Less so than a minigun. Less so than a minigun.
Yeah, that is true.
And then we get to have enemies say things like, "Oh, don't tase me, bro."
Don't tase me, bro. Okay, cool. Well, I'm that sounds like a good little invention there, Iskander. Good luck. Good luck.
I've tested the incapacitating shock extensively on myself, and I can assure you it's only extremely painful until you lose consciousness.
Well, all right. That doesn't sound too bad.
Have you
still dialing it in, of course,
on anything smaller than you?
Well,
I do not volunteer.
No.
Just something you might want to keep in mind.
Dial it back to, 3 out of 5 Iskanders, or approximately 7 Brekstas.
There you go.
It has like a silhouette of Iskander with like a meter on it. It's like
no, yeah, Iskander, it's like a little switch, and it's Iskander on one side and Breksta on the other, and you just choose where you are in the.
You get the slider.
It's like the. Oh no, it leapt out of my brain. But set your phasers from like stun to kill kind of thing.
There you go. Set your phasers to Iskander.
Yeah, once I set it, it's kind of a set it and forget it sort of thing. But, it's still in the works. We'll definitely, test it on willing participants.
Yeah, maybe we can.
Setting.
We could, Yeah, maybe we'll test it on somebody standing in a puddle. See what happens. So, all right. So, yeah. All right. So, how do I get in touch with these? What are they called? The White Lodge?
Yes, the White Lodge. Let's see. You will be your visit will be arranged by Mrs. Lord.
Oh, phenomenal.
Yeah.
Thank you, Miss Lord. Mrs. or Miss?
Mrs. Sorry, fellas.
Ah, darn it.
And ladies.
Hey, there's room for mistresses.
That's
very true.
It's a pretty fallible human construct.
Yeah. Married ain't dead. That's what they say.
That's how. Yeah. All right. That will be arranged. All right. So back to Frederick. Alex, have you had enough time to consider your arcanas?
I have. I'm going to turn in a couple of arcanas for new cards.
Okie dokie. I'll recall those. Alrighty.
So is this feat just to get an audience with Gross, or is it?
Yes, it is. It is to see how quickly you can get an audience. I'm going to say with a partial success, it would be the entire 2 weeks. Like you'd be meeting with him the day that your train departs Paris.
Okay.
Yeah, like he's been delaying just to be a douche.
Exactly.
Yeah, that's totally his style. I get another major arcana, so.
All right.
This is more major arcanas I think I've gotten the rest of the campaign.
Probably, yeah. All right. They tend to come in groups like this.
All right, cool. Okay, so I am going to play the High Priestess.
Ooh. All right.
Which converts any card into swords.
Oh, shit. All right.
And then I'm going to play a King of Wands, so King of Swords.
Okay. Wow. So let's see, a king, and then you already had a great, so that's definitely a high success. Okay. And let's see if there's anything I can do to just mess with you there. No. I'll save them for later. Okay, so all right. Let's see. That's a high success, so that means you are actually able to secure a meeting with Gross within a 48-hour time frame.
Nice.
He agrees to meet you over a luncheon, nearby the Austrian embassy.
Okay. Now, I don't know if we went over this. I apologize if I forgot, but did we? I know we met with Oberon.
Yeah.
And all that played out. But did we ever decide what we were doing with all the documents that we got off of Mr. Margarine? Like the his dealings with Prussia and all that stuff. Did we ever decide we were going to do anything official with that, or?
I don't believe so. So you can talk about it now.
We kind of turned over, or at least the idea was that for Bernadette, we were going to work with you to make sure she was turned over properly. Right. So I feel like if you have supporting documents, it's not going to break my heart for you to utilize those as you see fit. But,
That's right. Okay. So I think if it's been 48 hours, but I'm assuming it's been longer than that since everything went down with the margarine caper.
Yes.
So, with Bernadette in custody, I suppose, or whatever it is, with the embassy and all these documents that support, her working with the Prussians and this whole plot to sell arms, I'm thinking maybe that helps my case, coming in and getting a quick audience or at least coming in with a bit of clout more than I maybe normally would have.
Definitely. In fact, I'll even say, maybe on that partial success, the reason it would have been 2 weeks is that Haas, as you recall, actually is a very high-placed diplomat. So he's actually normally based out of Vienna. But with the high success, you were able to cable him the news that you had some sensitive documents, and so he's coming out in person to collect them from you.
Okay. Perfect.
Mm-hmm. All right, so it is a pleasant June afternoon, and you're on a sidewalk cafe in Paris, not far from your residence at the Austrian embassy, and you see your old rival, Karl Gross, coming up the sidewalk, in his tweed suit with his little Austrian Tyrolean hat, and his swinish features,
swinish good looks,
his swinish swagger. So he sees you and pulls up a chair opposite and has a seat. Well, Frederick, you're looking well enough.
As are you, Karl. Would you care for a coffee or perhaps a croissant? And I purposely pronounce it very French, just because I know that bothers him.
Right.
Croissant.
Croissant. Yeah, he winces slightly, and says, I suppose I've just come directly from the train station. I understand you have the packet with you, or would you like to hand that over in more secure circumstances?
I have it with me. Of course, I'm more than willing to set up something more official.
No, that's fine. That's fine. I have my attaché case here. And he, throws it up on the table, and he's got a little key around his wrist, and he gets it out on the retracting chain and unlocks it. He's making a big production of his official case full of important papers,
So I'll just wait patiently while he goes through this, display.
Right, it's a little ritual.
Yep.
All right.
So what I would like to do is I would like to maximize my bargaining chips.
Mm-hmm.
And so I'll produce my own little case, maybe not as official as his, and begin to reach in to get the documents and then pause. Look up at him. Of course, it's always business with us, but maybe we could enjoy a more relaxed lunch first. Why rush to the business when we can enjoy this wonderful cafe and city around us? And I'll put the papers back in and close it up. Just as I take it partially on and put it back in.
Yeah. So he sighs and he closes the case and locks it and sets it down. Very well, very well. Frederick, if you wanted me to pay for lunch, you only had to ask.
Well, this guy.
This
bitch.
As a matter of fact, I've already paid for lunch. It is the Parisian way to pay ahead of time. IBS.
Pay ahead of time.
You didn't know that you pay ahead of time?
Yeah, right. Exactly. Yeah, right.
Really should get out of
you
Vienna
haven't
more.
been in Paris very long.
Yes, exactly. Yes. Oh,
it's only diplomatic. Ooh.
So he kind of rolls his eyes and he's like, huh, these French and their strange customs. Well, very well then. Yes, let's break bread, as it were. So, orders are put in. You're sweating because you know the bill will eventually arrive. But
totally.
You're like, I have to go to the bathroom, and you like jump up and like run in to pay the bill inside.
Yep.
All right. So that's fine. So then the food comes out. You're having a pleasant dining experience. When do you want to spring your trap?
I am pretty early on. I will, after what limited pleasantries we, can stomach exchanging.
Mm-hmm.
I will, while buttering my croissant with real butter.
Yeah, brownie churned butter, brownie brand.
Brownie brand. So I always meant to ask you about your negotiations with the Steam Lord, Lord Asmith.
Yes. What about them?
Oh, just curious how that came about, and of course, it's quite the coup for you, and certainly helped accelerate your rise in the embassy, among other things, of course.
Yes, well, some of us, we know how to play the system. You score big agreements, you get big rewards.
Of course. I suppose in the negotiations, you must have had some interactions and perhaps even familiar relationships with this Lord Asmith.
Yes, I suppose so. In fact, I am due to attend his wedding in a couple of weeks.
Oh, you don't say.
Yes.
Well, interesting you mention that. I have an associate of mine, quite close, who would be quite keen on also attending that wedding.
Oh?
Yes.
Any particular reason?
No, not really. I just got a thing for Steam Lords.
You got a thing for Steam Lords?
Frederick wants to be a Steam baby.
My friend is sexually aroused by power and just wants to be proximate to it.
Oh, of course, that's a ridiculous request. I don't know why I mentioned that.
Oh, no. Say no more. Say no more. I'm sure I can pull a few strings and get at least one invitation. How many invitations would you like? 2, 3, 5, 10? Whatever you like, old friend.
I don't like the way you said old friend. So let's see. Now, plus ones, that would indicate that we would need 10 invitations.
Well, you need 5 that just have the, you plus 1 on it. So
okay.
Yeah.
So yeah. Well, how about an even 5?
Of course. I'm happy to arrange it. You can tell he's really enjoying the fact that he gets to flaunt his pull. Like, oh yes, I can just materialize these invitations to a big society wedding.
So once he agrees, I will try to wrap up the lunch as quickly as possible.
Mm-hmm.
I will turn over the documents to him and use that opportunity to excuse myself and run and pay the bill.
Right.
And just kind of wrap things up. Good to know that he'll be there at the wedding as well. That's
no, that's
a nice
really
little
good
detail.
Yeah. All right, and so the papers are handed over, and everything is taken care of there. Okay, good. So you have the invitations to the wedding now in hand.
Oh, excellent.
All right.
I like the idea that he's just carrying a bunch of extras around. Like,
well, yeah, I should say you have the promise of the invitations in hand.
Yeah, as good as in hand.
Exactly. Yeah. There's going to be a will call box at the front of the cathedral. You just go there.
So the idea that that Lord Asmith gave the guy 40 invitations.
Yeah,
a stack of invitations. Oh sure,
just a little booklet.
Now, to be like a coupon thing, we just rip them out.
Yeah.
All right. Yeah, it's a coupon book.
To be fair, though, if this is the guy who's getting married on a Tuesday to secure more money for himself, I think he's absolutely seeing this as a PR event, right?
Oh, very much.
Yeah,
so.
no,
Yeah,
of course.
absolutely.
Here, you have 20, you have 20.
Yeah.
Cream of the crop.
Yeah.
I do like the idea, that Gross was hanging on to them, and you asked him, and he's acting maybe I can possibly, and then inside he's oh, thank fuck, I can't give these things away. He's
got to make his goal. He's got to make his sales goal.
That's right.
Right. Lord Fancy Pants would break his balls if he didn't, hand out all these invitations.
Because Gross isn't actually as cool as he tries to make it seem like he is. He was
of course.
tasked by Lord Assmouth to go deliver invitations for him.
Yeah. If he doesn't sell all the invitations, he can't go on his senior trip.
If he gets third place, he's fired. Second place is a set of steak knives. All right, so yeah. Oh, by the way, I just spotted the speaking of Tuesdays. So there were rhymes for wedding dresses. There's a rhyme for what day to get married on too. So you marry on Monday for health.
Of course there is.
Of course there is. Marry on Monday for health, Tuesday for wealth, Wednesday the best day of all, Thursday for crosses, Friday for losses, and Saturday no luck at all. And nobody gets married on a Sunday.
Weird.
Mm-hmm.
You gotta double down on that Sunday. You don't have to rent out the church. But look, everyone's gonna be there anyways.
That's right.
Just sneak me in between communion and whatever comes after communion.
Been some really unfortunate wedding receptions on Sundays,
Right. I saw some.
The Lord disapproves of twerking on a Sunday,
That's true. I saw some tweet that reminded me of it. It's why are trains so expensive? You're going that way anyway. Just drop me off. Same thing with weddings.
Yeah.
Oh, dude. The Lord disapproves of twerking on a Sunday. It's like a Lord song. And the Lord disapproves of twerking on a Sunday. Or some shit. What I can't sing, okay? But it sounds like a Lord song.
No, let me just make a note. Delete this part here.
Right.
Okay. All right. So you got the promise of invitations in hand. That's as good as his word. Which, as much as he's a rival, you are fellow members of the diplomatic corps. So what is next? What's the next indicated step? We've got Iskander working on his journeyman piece. So what else? Anything else?
Working on typing up some correspondence to arrange for my date.
Of course.
Arranging
yes.
for my dress to be shipped, all of that good stuff.
Mm-hmm. Good. Yeah, who's everybody's plus ones? We've got Katsaboo for Frederick. We know that much.
Does he get a little cravat?
Oh yes.
Oh.
Can you have one of those little shoulder strap things that lets him carry the ring down the aisle,
yeah,
ring bearer?
I'm sure they'd love that.
I've been keeping Potterfield pretty close recently. I'm not super comfortable with the idea of bringing them to a very public wedding, but since I'm kind of between places to live as well. Like we're bouncing around between hotels and stuff. I think that maybe Potterfield's out in public a lot more, but we're using like a variety of like veilage and stuff like that to help out with it. So might go that route.
Things out with some glamours.
Yeah. Oh yeah, that would be cool.
Like
just no magic. I don't want
I'm imagining it's going to be that like scene from Edward Scissorhands, the like the spackling, you know, with all of the
yeah, right.
What's it called? The door-to-door products.
Avon.
Yes,
Avon.
Thank you.
Yeah.
Avon lady.
Yeah.
Yes. It'd be just like that.
Pretty much.
Yeah. So whether or not y'all are comfortable with it, Potterfield's probably been to most of our luncheon meetings and stuff like that.
Excellent.
Did you notice him at half of them because he's just standing next to like a potted plant perfectly still or something?
Oh god, I forgot you were there.
Yeah, so that's Katsupoo's wedding outfit there.
Love it so much.
That's awesome.
So dapper.
So dapper. So refined. All right. How about Iskander?
I think Iskander is going to ask the lovely Sasha Reinhardt if she would accompany him to this wedding.
Absolutely, of course. That is a assured thing. And how about Grizzly Grant?
Well, y'all are my only friends, so I probably ain't bringing anybody.
Is your biggest gun your +1?
I dress my gun up in a suit, and I'm like,
just like put a hat on the end of it and hold it upright.
Yeah.
Like, this is my friend Winchester.
Winchester.
Go full on like mariachi. You're like where it's like a guitar case or similar,
totally.
full of guns, and that's your +1.
That'd be awesome.
Sorry, I just thought about how that might be what Grant wears when he thinks you're supposed to be fancy, as a full-on mariachi outfit.
Do you have any idea how much those silver buttons cost?
For real. Not only that, but I was not on the Mexican side of the Mexican-American War.
Doesn't mean you didn't get yourself a suit.
That is true. Maybe there's some kind of midweek taster.
Just walking in all like jingle, jingle, jingle. Like,
yeah. Definitely a midweek taster of when Grant had to like sneak in behind enemy lines wearing a mariachi suit.
Nice. Okay, and then how about Breksta?
So, in my travels, I have befriended a young painter in Italy, and I've heard that he has just been accepted at the Royal Academy in London, and so I'm writing to him to see if he will accompany me. Let's see if I can get my picture going. There we go. Yeah.
Aha. A famous artist indeed. With that is a magnificent beard.
I know, I found it.
That's a come hither sort of stare too.
It is, really. Yeah.
You just have to like smooth out some of the wrinkles because at this point he's only in his early 20s, but
nevertheless,
the vibe is there.
The vibe, exactly.
Makes me want to grow my beard back out.
Yeah, vibe check. All right, cool. That is everybody. Okay, great. So the only remaining question then is, how many days in advance are you aiming to arrive in London?
I would like to be there probably, I would say 3 or 4 days before the wedding. That way, because I kind of want to get a lay of the land. If it's possible to get maybe a tour of the cathedral beforehand, I would like that. And then, not that I'm going to make you like give me the blueprints of this place, but just so Grizzly can kind of, we can hand wave over that kind of scene. But I would like Grizzly to have some kind of idea of the layout of this place, the exits, the entrances, anywhere where he might like stand on top of a stairwell and like swing off a chandelier.
Cathedrals well known for their chandeliers.
Totally. Anything that I can get any kind of drama out of.
Absolutely. Yeah. All right, cool. All right, so yeah, we'll say you depart Paris on the 16th. You take a train to Cherbourg, probably, or Cherbourg, Calais, and then take the ferry across to Dover. Okay, so you're all on your way to bright, sunny England. Let me just move you over to the appropriate background there. There you go.
Yeah. Famous for its sunny days.
Famous, especially in the world of Castle Falkenstein, being under the rule of the Steam Lords. So, yes, you arrive in England 3 days before the wedding. You take the train into London from Southampton and arrive under oppressive gray clouds and smoky fog that swirls through the avenues and streets and alleys as Big Ben ominously chimes in the background.
Sick. What year is it? 1871? 71.
Mm-hmm.
Oh wow, the Ripper ain't even been through here yet.
No.
Quick question: when is have I heard anything back from Mrs. Lord?
Yes, so everything has been arranged. So you are to meet with a certain Anna Kingsford.
Is that Kingsford or Kingsfjord?
That would be Kingsford.
Oh, phenomenal.
Mm-hmm.
Phenomena.
That too. And yeah, so she is, let's see here, what do you know her for? She's young, she's married to an Anglican priest, but she's apparently a member of the White Lodge. Let's see. I'd say a great success on your well, actually you're at great on sorcery now, aren't you?
I am great on sorcery now.
Okay. So you also know her a bit by reputation, as being a White Lodge member. Let's see here. She is rumored to have been a born seer with a gift for seeing apparitions and divining the characters and fortunes of people.
Wow. Does she have a medium name like Mistress so-and-so or?
No, she doesn't really lean on that too much. She's more of a social campaigner. She's an anti-vivisectionist and a vegetarian.
Interesting.
Yeah.
Okay.
Don't mention anything.
Right. Yeah.
About what doing.
Yeah. We'll try not to bring up Potterfield the Vivisected.
Yeah. Is it still vivisection if they're alive and not in pain?
Right.
All right. So that's but yeah, she kind of like you, Grant. She sort of has this other career and this other life, but she's a member of this magical society as well. So,
no. Aren't we all?
Aren't we all?
Okay. Cool. So I would probably call her Ms. or Mrs. Kingsford.
Mrs. Yeah, she is married. So yes, you will call on Mrs. Kingsford at her residence in, let's say, Kensington, since I don't have her actual address. Oh, how about Iskander? Do we need to do a feat or anything for your invention, or is it just like you just put in the time and then boom, an invention pops out?
according to the invention PDF that I read, as long as you have good or better tinkering, you just put in the time, or you can pay a gadgeteer to do it for you. So,
okay, that's kind of what I thought. Yeah, it's usually, I think usually you'd have to do a feat if you were trying to like beat the clock. It's like, this will take me 2 weeks to make. You have 5 hours, or whatever.
Right. That makes sense. Yeah.
Yeah. Okay, cool. All right, so you have your and what are you calling it? Your device?
I haven't named it yet, actually.
Okay. All right.
I spent all my energy like conceptualizing it.
Your device is so new. Yeah, exactly. That's the important thing.
How are you going to market it, man?
Yeah, exactly. The punch.
Leave that up to the eggheads upstairs.
That's right.
Yeah.
All right. Yeah. All right. So it's so new. Your invention doesn't even have a name yet. As for Breksta, you connect with your +1, Mr. Waterhouse, and spend some time catching up, I'm sure.
Excellent.
And how about Frederick? Anything in particular you're doing here in jolly old London town, spelled with an E at the end?
I don't think so. I think, do we have any embassies or diplomatic relations with England or London?
I mean, yes, you would have an embassy here in London, for Austria. So yeah, you could always land there.
Okay, yeah, and I'm assuming I've already received the invitations. And
yes,
filled them out and everything. Okay,
everything's in order. Yes.
Yeah, so I think I'll head over to the embassy.
You cut them out from the sheet that they were printed on.
Yeah.
All right, so yeah, you check in at the embassy and are given one of the guest suites reserved for traveling diplomats. Being a minister without portfolio has its advantages.
Perfect.
Okay. All right, so you're all getting settled in. So Grant, you arrive at the tasteful flat belonging to the Kingsfords.
Wonderful.
And are shown in to the parlor by the butler. Soon afterwards, Mrs. Kingsford herself makes an appearance.
I'm probably dressed well. I'm not like to the nines, like with my bison skin and whatnot. But I do want to look nice and presentable.
Yeah.
I've got my Masonic ring on, and I probably have a lapel pin also. Although it was fashionable at this time for it to be like underneath my lapel, so I could like flash it, But she can probably see like the back of it, and she knows I'm the real deal.
That's right. Indeed, as she enters the room, she says, "Ah, Mr. Grant, I am in receipt of a communique from our mutual friend, Mrs. Lord. She speaks most highly of you."
I might stand up. I make sure I stand up when she's in the room, and when she comes over, I imagine she like presents her hand to me. I take it and bow and kiss her knuckle. And I say, Mrs. Kingsford, I have also heard wondrous things about you from our mutual friend, and I'm very glad that you could assist me in these manners today. Also, if anybody else wants to be here, you're welcome to.
Absolutely.
I honestly have nothing else to do in London at this point. I'm just laying low, so happy to accompany.
That probably gives me some confidence also.
All right. Okay. So, afternoon tea is procured and rolled out, served.
I introduce my friend Astrid, a wonderful little woman with the mechanical mind of wonders. Capable of some very interesting new sciences I don't believe the world is ready for.
Oh my, that is quite a recommendation. What exactly do you study, madam?
Oh, he speaks much more highly of me than I deserve. I am a calculation engineer, actually.
Oh, most fascinating. I know very little about that.
And I honestly know little of the art that you practice, so it's fine. It's fine. I'm just very happy to be here.
Of course, of course. Well then, please, and she pours some tea out. She offers you some, vegetarian tea, what do they call them? Like hors d'oeuvres, right? So like cucumber slices with cottage cheese on top, that kind of thing.
Classic vegetarian hors d'oeuvres.
Analog.
That's right, Ansel. That's right. Just exchange pleasantries there for a bit, just talking about the weather and so on and so forth, And once the tea service has been cleared away, she rises and goes to close the parlor window curtains, shut the door to the rest of the house, comes back, and picks up a small little end table and moves it in front of her chair. You can see that it has a velvet coverlet over it, and there's some kind of spherical object underneath, which she shortly reveals by whipping the velvet away, and of course it is a crystal ball.
Oh man, I got Grant gets chills, and he's both. I mean, he has no idea what to expect. He's excited. He's nervous. He's afraid he's going to get turned into butter.
It's a very, very real pause. She could turn the entire city into butter at this point. I just don't know. Here's an interesting Anna Kingsford quote. There are too many men and women. There is too little humanity. There is a dearth of understanding, of nakedness of spirit. All of us are overdressed. No man knows what heart beats in his neighbor's bosom.
Well, if that ain't poetry, I don't know what is.
Mm-hmm. All right, so she begins to look into the scrying orb. So I will begin to draw some cards here for myself. And we'll see what they have to say. So let's see here. She is working off of the... Where'd you go? Manuscript of Paranormal Divination. Okay. So, that has the spell for scrying, which has, it's pretty low thalamic energy requirement. So as she's looking into the crystal ball, she asks you, Grant, she says, what knowledge do you seek?
Oh, man.
Mr. Morgan.
I would like to know, Miss. Well, first of all, if Miss Holmes wants to be married to Sir Percival. And secondly, if she does not, how I might best go about rescuing her from her predicament.
Okay. With the powers of my orb, I can only give you an outlook on likely paths. Is there a specific task that you are considering? I can tell you what may happen if you follow that path and that task.
Well, I plan on perhaps I have a feeling, well, I would like to say this maybe, like I feel like Grant is probably on the do not enter list. Maybe.
You got a little printout up next to the door.
Right, like do not let this fool in. So and even if he is, I kind of would like to lay low. I mean, I know there's going to be like 200 people there, but we are not low profile people. So I feel like I would like to keep a low profile. I'd like to keep my head down and perhaps try to maybe like sneak in or something along those lines, and then stop the wedding just before it's finished.
Okay.
As far as I want to avoid being seen. I want to avoid being detected.
Okay. All right. So you're pursuing a sneaky path to disrupting the wedding. Your friends are going to help you by being moles inside the wedding. Okay. So she begins to scry. I know, Edie. Okay, here we go. Pulling some cards. Okay. What the fuck? Are we already... Yep. Major Arcana, first pull. Okay.
Yay.
Yeah. Here we go. All right. The sun. All right. Where is it? 18. No, 19. Okay. Thaumaturgic energy flows more easily than normal to the sorcerer. For the rest of the gathering period, they draw 2 cards for every 2 minutes instead of 1. Well, that would actually be a helpful one if you're under a time crunch. Okay, what do we got next? Oh, yes, let's see here. So the spell she's weaving, we need to figure out this suit. Obviously emotional and romantic. So that would be cups. So she's pulled pentacles, which will be of little use, and a wand's also of little use. And next, she pulls a swords, and oh, there we go. There's another arcana. I believe that is justice. Yes, it is. Let's see what it does in an arcane context. All right. Magic seems to judge the purpose of the spell. Oh, we had this before. If it is noble, then the spell can be cast as normal. Okay. Didn't we determine that means it's cast immediately?
I believe so,
That's
yes.
how we did it last time. And this is obviously hella noble.
It is hella noble.
Oh, yeah. Absolutely.
I specified consent before the spell was even cast.
That's true. That's true. All right. Okie dokie. So yeah, she only spends about, 6 or 8 minutes gazing into the orb. When she looks up at you, the orb has begun to glow from within, of its own volition. And so she looks up at you with her face underlit and a smile on her face, and she says, "Mr. Morgan, your cause is just. Do what you think is best, and you will succeed. However, the universe asks for one condition, and one condition alone. Should you succeed in your endeavor, you must marry this woman."
Oh man, that kind of like hits Grant a little on the side, I think.
Yeah.
I mean, although he and Adelaide Holmes had definitely like fallen in love with each other, at first sight.
Mm-hmm.
I think this like makes it real.
Sure.
And his palms get a little sweaty and mom's spaghetti and whatnot. And I think his he gets the butterflies for sure.
Okay. So she Mrs. Kingsford just says, it is not for me to approve or disapprove of your actions. That is merely the message I receive through my crystal ball. And you may do as you wish.
Thank you. I must admit, if I was going to marry a woman, I do believe it'd be Miss Holmes. I will absolutely take this into consideration. We don't want to upset the universe, as it were.
A wise decision, sir.
Although Kenny wants to know what might happen.
Yeah, tempt fate. Go for it.
Always.
All right. So, as for yourself, Astrid, you've seen magic before. You've been the victim of magic before. So perhaps it's been interesting to see a spell go off without causing anybody grievous bodily harm or trauma.
Yeah, like when she first started doing things that were magical, I felt my bones kind of hurt a little bit, but then nothing happened, and so I was like, all right, seems all right.
So it's almost like when you have like a healed limb that was broken and you can feel the rain.
Yeah.
Like your whole body, like as soon as magic starts happening.
I have magic arthritis now, so thanks.
Yeah.
Magic arthritis.
I know that feeling, so I'm like, sorry.
Okay. So you've got your green light from the universe.
I thank her for her time. I say thank you, Mrs. Kingsford. I really appreciate you meeting us here. And should there anything, should you wish anything from me, please don't hesitate to call. And I give her my card.
Mm-hmm.
And in fact, I would like to know, like, is she aware of this wedding?
Vaguely, she saw it in the society pages, didn't pay too much attention to it.
I didn't know if well, it might be I'm not sure. Well, right now, Mrs. Kingsford,
mm-hmm.
I have a +1 ticket, and I wouldn't want to be so forward as to invite a married woman as my +1, but if perhaps you saw the shadow of anyone in your crystal ball who might do me some favors, I've got an extra ticket, is what I'm saying.
Well, I have very little interest in such matters, but perhaps you could ask our mutual friend, Mrs. Lord.
Okay, I think I might do that. Thank you very much.
All right. You say your goodbyes. So you got that. You said you also wanted to kind of check out St. Paul's, right?
Yeah, if I can. Just get like an overall tour. Kenny Googled it, and it's very, very pretty building,
mm-hmm.
to say the least.
Yep.
And but yeah, if I could get some idea of, because I love the idea of, I kind of want to play it stealthy. I want to try to sneak around and be sneaky while
mm-hmm.
everybody else is kind of running interference almost. And then, bust out of the cake at the last minute and say, I object.
It's enormous.
Yeah.
Just a pile of dead doves somewhere
Totally.
in the alley.
What was that movie with like the giant cake and like they baked her inside of it? I can't remember what that was. Does anybody else remember this?
Oh, what? Under Siege with Steven Seagal?
I mean, everything is under siege with Steven Seagal.
Well, yes. His whole life is under
that
siege.
Part where Steven Seagal popped out of a giant cake.
Yeah.
And then clothesline somebody. Yeah.
Yeah.
Who could forget it? All right. So
wait, I think it was Naked Gun. It was one of the Naked Gun movies.
Oh, okay.
Where they're like, they baked her inside the cake.
Oh, like actually. Like they literally baked her inside the cake.
Yeah.
All right. So let's see here. As the wedding day approaches, anything else anybody wants to take care of?
So how long were we there? Like we arrived early, like a couple of days, or
like 2 days
like
in
that?
advance. Yeah.
Okay, gotcha. Yeah, I feel like I would, I don't know, try to see the sights see if I could invite Sasha to tour the sites with me or something like that. We don't necessarily need to, play that out or whatever. It's just kind of what we would be doing, I guess.
Right, totally. All right. And that is absolutely fine with her. So yeah, you do spend a couple days touring around London and playing the tourist, basically. Likewise for Breksta, I'm sure, unless you had any other plans.
Yeah. No, I think just, chumming it up, doing my best to muse.
Getting your muse on, Frederick, you just hanging out in the embassy cafeteria?
Yeah. I think a little bit of sightseeing and establishing connections, making networking, as it were, with my counterparts in London.
Sure, of course. All right. That may come up again in a relevant fashion at some point down the line, but not in this story. Mysterious.
Oh yeah. Like the London fog.
Yes, indeed, as mysterious as the fog. Wait, hold on. Let me roll to see if the fog monster attacks you. Oh no, wait, that's another scenario entirely. All right, so we'll call it a Cthulhu joke there for those of you in the know. Anyway, all right, cool. So now my question then for Grant would be: if you want to be sneaky, do you really want a +1, or do you just want to lurk?
I don't know. Well, I guess if she's specifically like tied to my +1, you know what I'm saying? If it's like Grizzly Grant's +1, then no, I won't get that.
Right.
But if she's got her own ticket, then yeah.
Do you even want to show up at this wedding? Do you? I mean, like, do you just want to like burst in the door at a dramatic moment, or you know what I mean? Like,
that's kind of what I want to do, but I feel like I have to have a reason to do it, and like if,
not at all. I mean, you just kick the door open,
The giant cathedral doors open.
Yes, the 500-pound door. Just kick it open.
Right. I could do, if I pulled the red Arcana card, I could probably do it.
Yeah.
But if I have to have, I don't know. I don't want everybody else to just like meander around the wedding with nothing to do until like, I mean, whatever, I guess.
I mean, there's, oh no, never mind. This is Paris. There's no champagne. Everyone's just depressed.
Sad.
It's a dry wedding.
It's a dry wedding.
Or at the very least, it's like, 10 a.m. And so...
Yeah.
It's not even brunch time yet.
10 a.m. on a Tuesday.
Sorry, guys.
Like the beige sweatpants of times of day of the week. Oh, shit. Man, you could rely on your gang, your homies that you brought with you to help you out. Like, if they're like, and if anyone objects, and then, one or all of us could like object on your behalf, and then that's your signal to come in or something like that.
I mean, I'm cool with that. If you guys want to like, what is it? If you guys want to like pitch meeting like some ideas, if we want to writer's room, what you all want to do or what you guys think I should do, I'm all for it.
Well, the first chip that I'll throw on that table is that Iskander is, very subtle, very, come in the side door. He's not the kind of guy to just walk right up to the front and bang on it. Like,
right.
You know what I mean? What I mean is, like, he would have no problem just standing up in the middle of this ceremony in front of 1,000 people. Like, of course, yes, I object, and and then explaining why that this woman is in love with another man or something, whatever.
Oh yeah, I like that idea, and then and maybe, yeah. I like where that's going, because you could be like, this one, like she's in, her heart belongs to another, and blah blah blah, and like somebody might be like. We could even plant somebody else in our group could be like, well, who is this man?
Oh my god!
In a funny voice. Who is this man?
I've been practicing my performance. Pick me.
Oh yeah,
good.
Breksta, Breksta for sure. Yeah,
Breksta got the drama.
He must be so handsome for her to prefer him over her betrothed.
Powerful.
Yeah.
Yes.
Perfect. Yeah.
No,
What sort of man could capture the heart of this lioness?
And Astrid, if you could
I'm throwing myself into whatever this plan is full force because the things that are going on in my life otherwise are too scary right now. So,
if you could work up like a wire harness for me to descend from the ceiling.
Oh my god.
Yeah, Mission Impossible
Is there a glass dome in this cathedral?
No,
so
sadly, but there is a very impressive dome. So.
Oh, okay, good.
We could just hide you up there until it's time.
I'll hide up there.
Like a week.
Forget about him, and he's just like they're all desiccated.
Some bones start falling from the.
Months from now, people are gonna be like, "Wait a minute, where's Grizzly?" All right, so
but what I was gonna say though, I do have good perception and charisma, and I've got great logic. So if you need some information gathering or anything, I can do that sort of stuff. But whatever you need, otherwise.
You know what? I do want to do. I not only want to ruin Percival's wedding and humiliate this fool, but I want to he's looking at this like a big PR event, right? That's what
very much so.
So we need to ruin this dude's reputation. I mean, he straight up absconded with the love of my life, and he's trying to profit off of this sham of a wedding. And
although, how common is that these days?
What's that?
Oh, I'm just imagining, how common is that these days, though?
It's a good question.
What, wedding shams or reputations being ruined?
The first part, because I'm imagining it's going to take to, should we have thought about, coming earlier even and getting some dirt on him that we then expose at the wedding and everyone gasps dramatically and then...
Or planning booby traps in the cathedral.
Ooh,
Well, we're there. Like I said, what did I say? 3 or 4 days before the wedding.
2 days.
2 days. Okay, so we have 2 days. I like the idea of getting some dirt on this fool, for sure. That's a great idea, Breksta. So maybe try to.
This is us on the ride over,
Totally, yeah. I don't know who's. Well, Frederick, I would assume, is going to have some good connections.
Ooh, there you go.
Maybe during my time with the embassy, I'll try to see what I can find. Do I know what someone like Lord Asmuth would what would ruin his reputation more than anything?
Well, so these guys, they're intensely private individuals. So they just any kind of personal business, if he had a mistress, or particularly if he had if he had a mistress and he had to pay her off to get an abortion, or something really scandalous like that, or if he or if he's seeing a married woman, maybe, or something along those lines, something that just kind of expose him as this hypocrite, basically,
or even, I assume he's got some money, but maybe he's $1 billion in debt or something like that.
Yeah. Something financial could definitely embarrass him if you leaked his tax returns to the media, for example.
Exactly. And then the next day, everyone's forgotten about it. But at least in that 24-hour span, people are gonna be like, "Wait a minute, what?"
Yeah, exactly. I'm putting up some pictures of the interior dome of St. Paul's Cathedral just so you can plan your Mission Impossible style infiltration. The wedding will be taking place at that altar in the central part of the cathedral.
Oh, so it's right down on top of it.
Oh,
not
hell
sacrilegious
yeah.
at all.
The altar explodes and Grizzly Grant is...
And it's like that scene from that movie Bruno, or not a scene, but where he crashed the Oscars or whatever he did.
Oh God!
Oh yeah.
Just it's too low, and he's crawling over everyone, putting his crotch at people's faces. Oh man,
So
amazing.
Is Grizzly in full gold body paint, so he blends in with that that relief.
He can be.
He's cosplaying as Gold Dust, the wrestler.
Oh my god!
Oh, full circle.
Yeah, and
this has been established. Yeah,
it is.
Yeah,
and so I'm gonna
just the loincloth.
Yeah, and I'm gonna
full gold body paint and little cherubim wings.
That's right. I'm gonna run up to Sir Percival and kick him in the nuts. And
some kid at the wedding's like, "Mommy, that statue keeps looking at me."
Just like glitter flying off your chops as you move.
My God.
So what I'm looking at is that there you got the main dome, and then you got like the little nipple dome on top of the main dome right there in the center, and that actually that does yeah, that's right, and that does appear to have little windows in it. So you could totally rappel from that central nipple dome right down onto the altar.
Phenomenal. That's exactly what I'm gonna do.
Yeah.
Yeah, with like my I'll be wearing like, and I'm gonna totally be wearing like a wedding suit with like a big cape that, you know, is gonna be like flying behind me as I descend.
Yeah, because that way when she says I do, you just take his place.
Totally.
Like
yeah, exactly.
Oh my God, you're gonna hijack the wedding.
I'm hijacking the wedding to fulfill my promise to the universe, basically.
Yeah. Otherwise it'll be mad.
Yeah, and then okay, I'm gonna save this one. But
all right. Wow. Okay, so that means in order to hijack the wedding, you do have to like basically force Lord Azimuth to like run off in disgrace or leave. You know, like.
Oh yeah.
So yeah.
Okay. Good.
Yeah. So I don't know, Frederick. What do you got?
Yeah, because Frederick, if you can't find anything, I will challenge this guy to a duel.
Oh shit! Well, now I don't know which to root for, frankly.
I know, honestly.
Well, I'm gonna say, would you say like a connections roll, like
yeah, absolutely.
Okay,
yeah.
So yeah, let's see what I can find. Okay. If I do poorly, then a duel it is.
Yeah. It'll be the saddest duel ever because I don't think either one of you has a better than average fencing. So
no, yeah, I'm awful
at it. Just be people watching them just going like, "Oh God!"
Just make it a gun.
It'll be like that scene in Indiana Jones where he does a flourish and I just shoot him.
Yeah. Actually, he is a Steam Lord. He might challenge you to a duel by firearms.
Oh, now we're talking.
Yeah.
Just shoot each other in the church.
Exactly. Like good Christians.
That's right.
All right.
That's why no one's allowed to get married on a Sunday.
Well, there you go. All right. So I'm not necessarily going to set a difficulty level for the connections feat. Just basically, if you can, you know, like see how high you can get it, basically, and then that will reflect how much you're able to dig up. So it's a swords feat, and you're at what grade already?
Yes.
Okay.
All right. Well, I'm going to play the magician.
Oh. Okay.
And that allows me to change any one suit into another suit.
Okay.
And then I'm going to play Knight of Cups to change that into a swords.
Ooh, shit.
And
all right.
Let's see what happens.
So let's see. Knight is 14, 13, 12 plus your grade of 8 takes it up to a 20. Good God. All right, so that's a great success against an exceptional feat, or a full success, or I should say a high success against an exceptional feat, or a full success against an extraordinary. All right, very good. So, let's see here. Yeah, I'll give you your choice. So we discussed, you know, some of the ways that that he could be hurt. So indeed he is he's the son of the current head of the Midlands Manufacturing Trust or whatever it is called. So he has not yet actually come into his inheritance. So basically, you uncover some evidence that he's been embezzling from the trust, And then you do also turn up some evidence that he has been keeping a mistress, and that she actually was recently diagnosed as syphilitic.
Okay.
Whoa.
So, do we know at this time, is it known to medicine what syphilis does to you? Like,
oh yes,
turns you into,
well known.
Okay,
turns you into Al Capone, literally turns you into Al Capone.
Yeah,
you transmogrify into a 20s gangster.
Yeah, it's amazing.
I just meant, not. It turns your brains into pudding, basically. So.
Yep, and your bones into, steamed cabbage.
Golly.
Well, now I'm hungry.
Kimchi.
Yes. Kimchi skeleton.
So on the embezzling side of things, what kind of evidence do I have? Is it physical evidence? Is it just I heard from somebody?
Yeah, I mean, basically, you could produce the physical evidence. It would take a little longer than the scope of time allows, but you know that it's there. You know that, like, if you were to make an accusation, they would be able to find the evidence of it.
Okay. And do I know this? Are there specific actors involved with this embezzling, like names or anyone that I could, or perhaps an account with a certain bank that I could reference?
Yeah, you have the bank information, basically.
Okay. All right. So I think.
And then as far as the mistress goes, you have her name. She is currently under hospital care, and apparently, Percy has repudiated her and deserted her.
Oh. Well, I don't want to drag her name through all this. That's the thing. I don't want to just, bring her into this if she wants to remain out of it. However, if he has treated her poorly in this whole situation,
yeah, she might want to shame him. She might be on our side.
So I'll spend this time that I have to seek her out and find out how she feels about it before I make that decision, if I have time for that.
Of course.
I'm assuming she's somewhere somewhat close.
Oh yeah, she's here in London.
All right.
Let's see. So yes. You'll do that. Good. So
oh my god, I just had an idea for baby Katsubu won't be coming to this wedding. I'll have a new +1.
Oh no! But the cravat, man, the cravat.
The cravat. You can sneak Katsubu in your jacket, dude.
Yeah, he'll repel that with you.
Yeah, like the groom at the door be like, "I'm sorry, sir, it's +1 only. You can't bring the cat in." All right. Yes, you have the information that she is currently under care at St. Bart's Hospital in the city, and so you seek her out there. Let's see. Anything else anybody else is up to while Frederick is on the case?
I mean, if Grant legit wants to repel, then I think Iskander and I will need to work on a device.
Yeah. Yeah. And I'm going to request that it not only repels, but also the opposite of repel, which is pel.
Unpel.
Unpel.
Well, maybe we can read it so you pel down and then you repel up.
There we go.
Oh, there repel. Yeah. Rappel and repel. Exactly.
There we go.
Oh, okay. That's it.
Yeah.
Repel. Correct. Thank you, David, for knowing words.
No, yes. That's a total word. That's a word.
That's what he does. He doesn't drink and he knows things.
Exactly.
I think Sasha would help out too.
Yeah, she's
well. Oh yeah,
having Tomb Raidered into places and shit like that. Just like
this,
Vienna or whatever.
Falkensteinian system. How does a team effort get handled?
Yes. I know I said I was going to look into that, and I never did. So...
Love your honesty.
It's like, stop helping each other. Just split up.
Yeah. You're not intended to help each other.
All right, yeah.
I mean, even if it's just like Iskander can have a bonus because I've made this helpful diagram for him or whatever.
Right. No, I think what we'll do, I'll just house rule on the fly. We'll take the best ability between the three of you, and that will be your baseline. And then we'll say that like each person can take turns putting in a card, right? So from I'll use my hand. How would that work with Sasha? I guess I could use my hand for her, or I could just draw maybe from the deck. I don't know. I'll figure that out. But yeah, so basically that's how that would work. And we'll also say that because you're working together, it will, shorten the time needed. All right, so you're working on that. We'll figure that out in a moment. So Frederick, you are on your way to the embassy, what the hell? You're on your way from the embassy to the hospital. You are meeting with Miss Pleasant Doolin.
Okay.
So you are escorted down a white plaster hall to a sick ward, where you find her. You find a young woman, quite young actually, maybe like 20 at the oldest, and she's propped up in bed. She's in her hospital gown, but otherwise looks okay, and the doctor escorts you in and says, "Miss Doolin, this gentleman would like a word with you."
Hello, Miss Doolin. My name is Frederick Haas. We don't know each other, but I believe I might be able to help you with something, if you're amenable.
So she sets down the book she was reading and looks at you. She's got kind of fiery red hair and freckles. It looks very young and very alone and maybe a little scared. And so she says, "Are you from Scotland Yard or some other authority? I've lodged several complaints. But no one seems to want to do anything."
I'm not from Scotland Yard, but I have with the embassy complaints, and I may have a seat.
Oh, of course.
So I'll pull a chair up next to her, and would you like some water? Is there like a pitcher, maybe in a glass?
Oh, the doctors say I'm not allowed to drink for another 2 hours. I've just had me mercury treatment.
Okay, so I'll nod and then lean in. So, complaints. What was this about?
Well, frankly, I've been hard done by a member of the upper class, and certain promises were made to me that they have now seemingly reneged on. Now that I'm sick and in hospital.
And this person, would it happen to be Lord Asmith?
So her eyes go wide. She says, "How do you know that?"
Well, I've taken interest in your situation and have discovered what he has done and the state that he's left you in. And I apologize for my forwardness, but I had to take it upon myself to come and see you in person and see what your wishes were. It is possible that we could see justice done to Percival Asmuth, but I didn't want to go above you.
Well, that's most kind and considerate of you, but of course, anything I can do to help, but to help put him in his place, as it were. He promised me quite a lot, I have to tell you, and all he gave me was the syphilis.
How well are you? Are you able to walk? Or are you...
I should be well enough after I finish this round of treatments.
And when is that to finish?
I'm not sure. You'll have to ask me, Doctor. But any time you need me, you'll just ask. I'll do anything to put him back in his place and knock him down a few pegs while we're at it. But if you don't mind me asking, sir, you don't exactly seem like you're from around here.
No, I'm from Austria.
Oh, Austria, you say? Well, that's interesting.
Yeah. Well, it seems, Miss Doolin, you're a very no-nonsense type of person, so I'm going to be straight with you. And I reach into my coat pocket and I produce a wedding invitation, and I hand it to her. I have an opportunity to... I produce a one potato. This should make you feel better.
Oh, I've been dying for it. Thank you.
This should...
Oh, bless the saints, it's a potato.
That's racist.
That's racist.
It's all right if I say.
Half this group's Irish.
Yeah.
All right.
So yeah, I'll hand it to her and let her look it over. And how long is it until the wedding? At this point,
I would guess this is T minus. You're probably let's see here. You did have to do the research, so I guess the wedding would be the next day, actually.
Okay.
Yeah.
So I have this invitation to this wedding. Not only do I feel that this wedding itself is a farce, but I feel like this Lord Percival Asmuth is long overdue for his comeuppance. And perhaps if you are feeling up to it, I would be honored to take you with me as my +1. Of course, I don't want to go against your doctor's wishes or do anything that might make your condition worse. However, I have found that sometimes a little bit of vengeance can do wonders for the health and well-being of a person.
So she sits up a bit more in the bed and leans forward so that she's very close up to you, and she says, "Sir, even if my doctor was Jesus Christ himself, I would crawl through the pits of hell just to get back at that bastard."
So I smile at this. Excellent. Then we need to work on getting you out of here.
Leave it to me.
I'll be outside waiting in a carriage. The horse is running.
The horse is running.
The horse is warmed up and ready to go.
Yeah, warming up the Clydesdale, so.
Running in place.
Yeah, just doing that little trot in place. All right, so yeah, within about a half hour, she comes out, dressed in her regular, street clothes, tossing aside a empty vial of mercury that she had just swigged down, and
good for nails, yeah.
Oh yeah, and the saying, because they would use mercury to treat syphilis, and so the saying was a nighttime with Venus and a lifetime with Mercury. So she gets in the carriage and off you trot, quite literally. Meanwhile, remember that thing I was saying earlier about having to do a dramatic feat in order to get an invention thrown together under time pressure? All right, so who between Astrid and Iskander has better tinkering?
I think I'm the tinkerer between
I think
the two
yours
of us.
is better, yeah. Like mine's good, but I think yours is great, right?
Correct.
Okay. Let me just check Sasha here. Yeah, she has good tinkering as well. Okay. So, very good. So Iskander's taking the lead, but Astrid and Sasha are assisting. So, you're gathering component parts, you're meeting up in one of your hotel rooms, and unfolding your various tool wraps, your traveling toolkits, right?
Mm-hmm. Absolutely.
And you're getting into it. Okay, so tinkering is a pentacles task.
True.
I will say, let's see here. In order to assemble a reversible repelling device in the appropriate amount of time, normally we'd need a great task, but I'm just going to complicate it a bit and play an Ace of Pentacles to up that to...
Yeah, that's fair.
Yeah. So you need to beat a 23.
Okay. So, starting with great, I'm starting at what?
You're starting out at 8.
8.
Mm-hmm.
Cool. Well, let's start out at 12. I can bring a 4 of pentacles.
Okay, good. How about Astrid?
I am going to use my Wheel of Fortune because I don't have pentacles right now. So I'm going to discard my hand and I get 6 cards and I get to keep 4 of them.
Hot dog. All right. Oops, let me recall those first.
Man, I forget what my new favorite card is because it was death for a long time. Like, does anyone have a death card? But then there was another one that was even cooler, and I don't remember.
I think it was what was it? It wasn't death, but it was like the devil. No, it was something else that was like kind of grim.
Well, now I have to go back and listen to the session. So I mean, I was going to do that anyways. So.
I'm just checking my cards really quick.
Mm-hmm. So we're down to 11. We need 11 more points played. And I'll take a page from the sorcery rules, and we'll say that for every round of card playing, it represents a certain interval of time. We'll say a half a day. So technically, if you pull an all-nighter, you could get four rounds of card playing.
I will discard. I have to discard one of these major arcana no matter what, so I'm just double checking that. Do I want to have one that just lets me auto seduce someone, or let's see. All
right. Could come in handy.
Speaking of handy, no. I'll drop that one and this one and keep the rest. And then to help our hand, I will play the King of Pentacles.
Well. That's a tremendous help.
There we go.
Okay, so the King of Pentacles is going to get you 14, so that takes us over into partial success territory. Let's see here. Let me just do some.
That means it only goes one direction if we stop here.
That's right. I think so. Yeah, it doesn't have the retraction mechanism.
I'm okay with writing a prototype. I'm just saying.
All right. Let's see here. I don't have any more pentacles to spend from my hand. But I kind of
so since
feel
we're teamworking it, we're just taking turns playing like one card each, right? Or can we okay, cool.
Yeah.
I'm just making sure.
Yeah, so I don't have any more pentacles to play from my hand on Sasha's behalf. So, let me deal Iskander and Astrid one card each. And so you've put in a half day, and you've managed to design and begin constructing this this repelling machine, but it's only one way. Okay, so Iskander, anything to play? You'll have to. I was going to say you'll have to get a full success, which would allow the retraction mechanism. You'll have to play 8 more points worth.
Then I'm just discarding an extra major arcana.
Okay.
Okay. So we need another 8, you say, to allow it to retract, which I think is a necessary component of this. Because otherwise the whole thing's a bust. We can't just leave, Grant's bony ass hanging in the breeze like that, right?
You definitely could. It would be funny.
Wouldn't be the first time.
Funny.
There.
He would at least be able to do the first dramatic bit of it. He just wouldn't have an escape if things go awry.
I'll bring a knife in case I got to cut myself down.
Honestly, all I got at this point is a hand dump, really. All of my stuff is in other directions. So that'll get us halfway there.
That does get you halfway there. And you'll be living on a prayer. Okay.
Thank you. Thank you all so much. I love you all. Because ask me, I always do that when something's halfway there. I start singing Living on a Prayer.
All right. Good. We recall those. Shuffle and deal. Okay. So this means that you have now taken the entire day. Actually, Astrid, do you have anything you can throw in?
Oh, I do. Thank you for asking.
Oh, of course.
I have this little boyo.
Ooh. All right, so it's a 6. So that does get you up to full success. Yeah, very good. So it does take you the entire day to design and build this thing, but you get it done in record time. And by the end of the day, you are all set. Now, of course, now you have to get it installed.
Yeah, we have to sneak into a cathedral and install an old man in the ceiling.
This is exactly what I wanted to happen.
Now, I have a question for Breksta. Do you your fairy banes, do they include crosses or holy symbols?
I'm pretty sure that the Nixies, it's like just a general dislike and discomfort, but it's not an outright aversion.
Yeah, it's not like vampires.
No, not the way for like a lot of the other fairies. Right. It just makes us feel like gross inside.
Yeah. Okay. Right.
Same.
Yeah.
So we wanted someone to fly up there.
Like maybe transport Grant up there on the back of a giant goose, perhaps.
I don't know. I kind of like the idea of like carrying him in my arms.
Oh, like
bodyguard style.
And then like some priest just happens to be walking in. He's like, oh my god! He's like crossing himself. He's having this like holy vision,
Especially because Grant would be in his fancy like caped tuxedo and everything.
Totally.
What a weird vision.
Look like a suit. I'm gonna look like a suited Jesus.
With chops.
With chops.
The way this is shaking out, I feel like you should have recruited us each individually, in the middle of doing something all like cool.
Yeah.
They'd be like, son of a bitch, I'm in.
Totally. It's Ocean's 11.
Yeah, you gotta have the whole montage.
Grant's 5 or whatever, right?
Grant's 5.
Oh yeah, the Grizzly 5.
The
Grizzly 5.
There we go. That's the name of the chapter right there.
The name of the chapter right there.
The 4 of us in Katsubu.
All right.
For the record, I have changed my mind. If I die, I want to play Syphilitic Sally because she's like my new favorite person.
Pleasant Doolin.
Yeah.
All right, I'll give her a wiki entry then.
Thank you.
Yes. Yes.
Make sure her quote is, "Oh, me Mercury."
Me Mercury. All right, Breksta, what's up?
Oh, I was just gonna ask, am I gonna need like a physique check or anything to like carry Grant and the equipment all the way up there?
Oh, yeah, I don't know. Oh, that's a question actually. What did you build this equipment out of? Is it iron based at all, perhaps?
I think knowing that we wouldn't be the ones putting it up there, we wouldn't be so cruel to do such things. I think
so it's mostly wooden.
Yeah, it's made out of bullets,
wood and brass,
and iron. Oh, but specifically cold iron because he's obsessed. And
Look, that was a phase.
It was a phase when you were experimenting with cold iron.
It really was.
Okay.
No, I think and if you want, like, I'll throw in a couple extra pentacles just to make sure that it looks nice and stuff. But I mean, it's like, leather and like very sturdy fabrics and cordage and whatnot. Yeah, nothing that should harm Breksta and nothing that should be exceptionally heavy.
Mm-hmm.
Has to give a little bit so that he doesn't like break his ribs, and stuff like that. It's a full success. I mean, we did the work.
Yeah,
no, it's
like brass or something.
Brass, exactly.
Yeah.
And then also be
it's like unnecessarily like Victorian, like unnecessary ornamentation. Like the harness is like all padded with like embroidered padding on the inside and stuff.
Oh yeah,
that's clearly why it took
quilted.
so long.
Yeah, quilted.
The pulley system has all these like really ornate like gears for no reason and stuff like that, like cogs and stuff.
Yeah, it's like multiple redundancies.
Yeah.
Yeah. All right, cool. So, what is for Breksta? What is your normal ability for flying that we use?
I think that we had used etherealness.
Etherealness. Okay. That's fine. We'll just say this is an application of that, in which you're not literally going ethereal, but you are using it to sort of make yourself lighter than air, so you'll float up.
Okay.
So yeah, let's get an etherealness test, just to make it interesting.
And throw down this bad boy.
Ooh, wow, y'all coming out with the face cards tonight. All right, Knight of Wands, excellent. And you're at good or great etherealness?
I'm actually at average.
Oh, you're at, okay. That's fine then. You don't like to talk about it.
Talk about it.
All right, well, still, that gets you up to 16, which is enough for a high success anyway. So, great. So Grant and Breksta and probably everybody, with the possible exception of Frederick, I don't know if Frederick would be there, are going to meet up at St. Paul's at night, the night before the wedding, correct?
Oh, yeah.
Okay. Would Frederick be there? Or would he be seeing to Miss Doolin's, safety and comfort?
Yeah, I was imagining definitely there's going to be a shopping montage as they travel along,
My Fair Lady style.
Makeover.
And a general vengeance planning montage as well. So cut between the shopping with elaborate blueprints and a knife in the table.
Yeah.
Various potatoes.
Yeah.
Yeah, just feasting on potatoes.
Yeah.
All the
so I think probably
her nails commiserating.
So I probably won't be there at this this nighttime infiltration.
Okay, that's fine. All right, so you all meet up outside the cathedral. It's looming over you, and it's massive bulk, and so Breksta, you are able to probably in turns transport first the mechanism, and then I don't know, Grant, you want to get installed up there tonight? Is that my understanding?
Yeah, I'm gonna take a little snack pack.
Stuff a little jerky in your mouth.
Yeah.
He's got his pemmican. Golden raisins. He's ready to go.
Your Lunchables.
Whatever the Victorians had that's reminiscent of a pudding cup.
That would be pemmican, yes.
Okay, great. Yeah, I'll take some of that. And then while I'm up there, Well, we'll get to that. We'll get to that. But yeah, I'm gonna go up there tonight, and I'm gonna spend the night up there. And
Okay.
I've got my little backpack with my snacks and my wedding suit and cape that I'm gonna wear tomorrow. And I probably have like some water and maybe like a small bowl that I can like wash my face and look presentable.
Okay. Yeah. It's like, honey, will you marry me? Jesus, you smell like piss.
Yeah. Did you bathe at all?
Did you sleep out in the rough last night? Like, what the hell?
Did you sleep in a cathedral nipple?
Although, can I just say, I feel like you like peeing, like arcing off the top of this cathedral, right?
Totally.
You know you have to do that. I mean,
yeah. Well, you got one life to live.
It's every man's dream. I mean, let's be honest.
That's right.
We're covering all the bases, but like sunscreen hasn't been invented yet, so someone gives him a parasol so he doesn't come down. Just like
again, you're in London, so
red.
Yeah, there's no sun.
Oh, okay.
Yeah,
Victorian London.
Industrial Revolution too, so you might come down just like caked in soot.
Yeah, if anything, you'll come down paler than when you went up. You'll actually lose color. It'll be leached out of you like lime. All right, so very good.
So
you
I
are.
would imagine like Grant,
yes.
like you've got your little arm around me, and with like some terrifying strength, I just hoist you right up. That's right, little baby neck.
Yeah.
Grant hates flying.
I do hate flying, so.
Oh, and you don't like fairies?
Yeah. Well, no, I don't not like
I
fairies.
think at least once I'm going to pretend to drop you a little.
Oh God, I'd probably be
You are
like,
a trickster. You have to.
Oh,
yeah.
totally. Yeah.
Yeah, exactly. Like, whoop! No, just kidding. Whoop! Just kidding.
Saved your life.
Right. Yeah, I definitely hold on for dear life, and like my eyes are squeezed so tightly.
All right. Okay, so yeah, this is going to be an interesting night for you because, of course, yeah, you're deposited up on top of this dome. Let me see how high up this is actually. St. Paul's Dome height. Let's see here. 365 feet in the air.
Oh my gosh.
So about 30 stories up.
I definitely look down. Like once I'm up there, and before Breksta can even leave, like I look down and I look at her. I'm like, I don't know if I could do this, Breksta.
Don't worry, my friend.
You'll be fine.
I will catch you.
Grant, it'll be fine. Just don't fall.
There you go.
Oh,
It's one thing. It's only one thing you have to do.
It's just
don't
that
fall.
easy.
oh, just don't fall. You make it sound so simple. And like Grant's like shaking. It's like plus you heard. Well, you don't know, but the seer that I seen yesterday, she told me that I gotta marry this woman. That means Breksta, I'm probably getting married tomorrow.
Congratulations. That's wonderful.
Oh,
I don't understand. Isn't that what you wanted?
I'm nervous. Well, you know how it is when you want something for so long and then somebody finally gives it to you and I don't know. Frankly, it's got my stomach in knots.
It's just like she's totally like, uh-huh.
Yeah, like I have no fucking idea what that feels like.
Right. My stomach's all twisted up.
It's
I don't know
probably
what
the church. Don't worry about it. I get it too.
Yeah, that's true. Yeah, you're feeling a little queasy right now too.
Yeah.
Oh, and actually, in a Professor Farnsworth voice, good news, everybody. Actually, it's not 365 feet. That's the height to the cross. You're only 278 feet up. So.
Oh, well, in that case, I'm not even stressed.
Yeah, that's right.
Actually, I'm pretty sure there's like it's one of those like, was it like absolute velocity sort of things? Like after a certain height, you're only going to sustain like X amount of damage anyways. I feel like that's probably the threshold, right? Like,
You're right.
There you
I'll
go.
probably,
stories or more, you're going to be fine.
I'll probably pass
Absolutely.
out before I splatter on the floor.
Trust the magical steampunk backpack. You're gonna be fine.
Right.
Remember how your magic works? Like this whole thing?
Mm-hmm.
Invention, same thing.
So, yeah, how does this backpack work? I'm like,
Gotta go.
Right.
I'd explain it, but there's a lot of math.
I feel like you guys are gonna have to give me like a diagram for how to screw this into like the lintels or something, because
Yeah,
I'm
exactly.
good at, like, imagining stuff.
Well, no doubt Astrid drew out an IKEA style schematic of how to.
Did you pack me some meatballs?
Yeah, she gave you an Allen wrench and this sheet of paper with very vague directions on it.
It has the little Gumby figures on it, like doing something. And one of them smiling, and the other one's just like all frowny and pissed off.
And then the Gumby figure's like rappelling down a line at the end of it.
Oh my god.
Right.
All right, yeah. So I guess, yeah, does Grizzly... I don't know that Grizzly knows how to operate this thing. Is it like, do I screw it into the...
It's fine. We can assume they got a full success, so they briefed you on it, and, it's pretty dummy-proof.
And we made the mechanism simple enough,
Yeah,
knowing
exactly.
that you're a magic type. So
it can repel down,
right?
Mhm.
And then it can repel up. Is that right? Okay.
Yeah.
Okie dokie.
Okay. So, let's see here. Very good. So Grant is installed, and then the rest of you retire for the evening.
Before
Yes.
I leave him, Grant, I'm gonna hand you just a little teeny scallop shell. It's gonna have a little flame in there so that you don't freeze to death because it's damp.
Ooh.
Oh,
Very thoughtful.
yeah, I appreciate that, and I light a cigarette on it. Is it like a flame?
Seems right. Yeah.
Oh, okay, cool. Yeah.
Yeah. But, we'll say that it's emanating a nice amount of heat for you.
Nice.
A little hand warmer.
This will help.
Okay. Well, I was actually just about to call for a physique test for Grant, but I'll say that forestalls it. You're able to pass the night in relative comfort. Also, by the way, the opposite of a repeller device is called an ascender. So it's a repeller ascender.
Oh, well, that makes sense.
Like, you guys need to find a catchier name for it, though.
Oh, yeah, absolutely.
Ascender? No. So
we'll just name it after the German fashion. You just take the whole sentence that describes it.
Yeah, repeller ascender.
Yeah.
All right.
So while I'm up there, I want to start doing my homework on and see if I can, because Grant's been hitting the books, and he wants to. Even though this whole thing is 100% like Grant showing off, he really wants to seal the deal with like doing some kind of magic. And what I want is when I get down, when Sir Percival has been fully undone in the eyes of the congregation, I want to be able to cast an illusion or some kind of spell that kind of almost makes his outside looks like his insides. You know what I'm saying?
Oh, you want to Dorian Gray his ass?
I want to Dorian Gray his ass for real. And also turn him into a walking skeleton.
That too, yes.
Make his his literal insides look like his outsides.
Yeah, right.
But yeah, I want to Dorian Gray him. So I want him to kind of not like, I don't want to like horrify the audience, because I still want him to be.
Yeah, right.
I still want him to like cheer when the wedding happens.
You want to keep that PG-13 rating.
Totally. Yeah. I want him to like hide his face in shame and like, run down the hall screaming.
Totally. Oh, I love it. All right. So yeah, that's definitely like, I'd say that's a working you can start on like in the morning as people are filing in, and that way you give yourself. Now, the thing is that you can't hold a working once you're done with it, right? So
okay, yeah.
But you can drag it out. So like you could say like instead of each card draw being 2 minutes, I want it to be 10 minutes, right? And then that way you can kind of time it out, and then maybe reduce the intervals if you're still drawing cards and it's getting closer to the time, So.
Yeah. I definitely am looking for like a timed release, because I want this to be like the dramatic cherry on top of this shit show of a cake.
All right, cool.
And I'm thinking,
yes,
at some point, maybe about like an hour into Grant's vigil, maybe you glance over to one of those city windows, and outside you see Katsubu, just kind of sitting there looking in. Maybe meows, but you can't really hear him through the glass.
Aw.
He's up there on the dome with him.
Yeah, totally.
Yeah.
Like, what the fuck, Katsubu? It's like 30 stories.
Yeah, it's 30 stories up a sloping dome. Like, what the hell?
Yeah, it's like he's just sitting there, like, kind of, you see him meowing, but you can't hear it because through the pane of glass. But
yeah,
I'm imagining like you open the window for him, but he like won't come out.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah. Close it, he starts pawing at it again.
Exactly. All right. Wow. Great. So, yeah, Katsubu keeps you company as well. And the next morning, everyone, gets dressed up to the nines, as it were, and heads off. Found a picture of Ms. Doolin. I'll post it in chat there. So let's see, Frederick and Ms. Doolin. Then we've got Astrid and Potterfield, right? Good. Iskander and Sasha, and Breksta and John William Waterhouse, because this is Castle Falkenstein. That's why I love this game. So, very good. So all of you begin to file in. Now, these old medieval cathedrals, they don't have pews, so they've just set out chairs, kind of in it, as you can see on the photo of the looking down from the dome. You can see they set it in kind of semicircle around the altar there. So do you all want to sit together, or are you kind of just strategically filtering into different parts?
I think my plan, or our plan, I should say, with Miss Doolin is to keep low profile, and try to wait for the perfect moment to reveal her presence. So we'll probably be towards the back somewhere.
Okay.
I'm a plant. I think that we'll arrive conspicuously on time and kind of wander around and exchange pleasantries and whatnot.
Mm-hmm.
Just like an unassuming, attractive couple.
Of course.
Yeah, I would assume like we can't sit up front because those are usually like reserved spots, but I would be towards the front in anticipation of needing to resolve something with the mechanism or use my physique for greatness.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, I was thinking something similar, strategically placed to assist with any malfunction if I have to catch Grant or something like that. And also maybe if there's like near an exit or something like that to cover a hasty getaway should things go pear-shaped.
Okay, sure. So kind of on the outer edge of one of the maybe third or fourth row, right?
Yeah, no, that sounds perfect.
Okay. All right, very good. So you take up your positions, and since we're coming up on time, I'll ask you guys: do you want to kind of end off here and resolve it at the start of the next one, or how do you want to go?
Totally up to y'all.
I like the idea of maybe doing it next time so that we have like full savoring of all the possible shenanigans.
Yeah, that was my instinct as well, but I didn't know if you were all revved up for a resolution or not, so I didn't want to leave anyone.
I will say though, not to jinx it.
Yeah,
this is our fastest plan we've had so far.
It really came together. It was a good job.
Fast and loose. Fast and loose.
It still had bananas things in it, so.
Yes, it did. All right, so you're all, we'll put a button on it here. So you're all kind of like, you find your seat. The 196 other guests are seated as well. The priest, the bishop really, and his attendants, file in, and then the massive church organ begins playing. The processional. So Lord Percival and his grooms enter from the western transept. I don't know. I should know cathedral terms. They always fly out of my brain. Anyway, they enter from the west, and take up their positions near the bishop, and then the bride and her bridesmaids enter from the east, and everybody is craning their necks, of course, to get a good look. You all note that Miss Holmes is indeed dressed in a burgundy red wedding dress.
Oh man.
The scandal.
Mm-hmm.
Dude, you know what? Maybe instead of Dorian graying Percival, I could change her wedding dress color.
I bet Breksta could do that with a.
Oh, there we go. Yeah.
Cinderella, this shit.
Totally.
Yeah, exactly.
Oh, this is the best.
When she sees you.
Yes.
Boom. I love this idea.
All right.
Nothing could go wrong.
Nothing at all could go wrong. And so the bishop, steps forward and he says, "The grace of our Lord Jesus Christ, the love of God, the fellowship of the Holy Spirit be with you." And there's some hymnals sung, and prayers intoned. And then, in the presence of God, Father, Son, and Holy Spirit, we have come together to witness the marriage of Lord Percival Asmuth and Miss Abigail Holmes, to pray for God's blessing on them, to share their joy, and to celebrate their love. Marriage is a gift of God in creation, through which husband and wife may know the grace of God. It is given that as man and woman grow together in love and trust, they shall be united with one another in heart, body, and mind, as Christ is united with his bride, the church. The gift of marriage brings husband and wife together in the delight and tenderness of sexual union and joyful commitment to the end of their lives. It is given as the foundation of family life, in which children are born and nurtured, and in which each member of the family, in good times and bad, may find strength, companionship, and comfort, and grow to maturity in love. Marriage is a way of life made holy by God and blessed by the presence of our Lord Jesus Christ, with those celebrating a wedding at Cana in Galilee. Marriage is a sign of unity and loyalty, which all should uphold and honor, and enriches society and strengthens community. No one should enter into it lightly or selfishly, but reverently and responsibly in the sight of Almighty God. Lord Asmuth and Miss Holmes are now to enter this way of life. They will each give their consent to the other, and make solemn vows, and in token of this they will each give and receive a ring. We pray with them that the Holy Spirit will guide and strengthen them, that they may fulfill God's purposes for the whole of their earthly life together. First, I am required to ask anyone present who knows a reason why these persons may not lawfully marry, to declare it now." And that's where we will end it off for this week.
Nice.
Yeah, as we're all shifting in our seats. Like...
I know.
I know.
About to go down.
Oh my God. This is going to be awesome. I'm so excited for this.
All right. And yes, I was gonna say, like, yeah, sorry, I just married all of you together. So
right.
Yeah,
You can both marry.
marriage now. The conversation tomorrow with Des is gonna be
awesome. Okay, this is awkward.
She knows there's no stronger bond than that of the gaming group.
Yes, that's right.
That's right. In the eyes of the Catholic Church, we're all married.
We are all married to each other. Well, very good.
The bishop is also like, and doing it and whatnot.
Yeah.
Also the doing it and such.
Yeah, sexual union. Yeah, I was reading that, and I was like, oh, okay. Oh, we're going there. All right.
Might as well put it out there.
Yeah, that's right. Very good. So you may have noticed on the calendar invite that the name of the story is The Haunting of Brodick Castle, and you might be saying, "Why? But hold on, there was no castle in this session." We'll get to it next time for our Halloweeny session. Whoa. So it'll be nice and creepy and spooky.
Hell yeah!
Anyway, so good session, everyone. That was excellent. I really
Great
enjoyed
game.
That. Yeah.
Great.
And yeah, that was fun improvising a whole new character on the fly. So now we have Pleasant Doolin, and also Anna Kingsford, who is a real person, and you should look her up because she was pretty amazing.
Ooh.